Now, New York's #1 news. Channel 7
Subway. A man shoved in front of a moving train in what appears to be a random attack. Tonight, we'll tell you what we're learning about the man who is now charged with attempted murder. And good evening, everyone. Welcome to a special early edition of Eyewitness News. I'm Bill Ritter.
I'm Shirleen Allicot. Thank you for joining us. New Year's Eve.
Happy New Year.
Just 2 hours until 2025. Tens of thousands of revelers are ready for the ball to drop in Times Square. And it is already 2025 in Asia and Europe. Bill, crowds packed the Champs-Élysées in Paris before fireworks lit up the Arc de Triomphe.
This was the scene in Hong Kong, a huge fireworks show over Victoria Harbour.
And it was a similar scene over the Sydney Harbour Bridge in Australia.
Meanwhile, live pictures now from Times Square, where the rain doesn't seem to be putting a damper on the world's biggest celebration. It is pouring. Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Carlo looking pretty spiffy. He's in the crowd with all the excitement. And meteorologist Jeff Smith is here now tracking the rain, too.
But we want to begin tonight with the host of Dick Clark's New Year's Rocket Eve, Ryan Seacrest. He is live in Times Square. Ryan, we see it's coming down heavy, but it's not dampening your spirits or anyone out there, right?
Not at all. We live for this moment.
No question. I'm sure you do. And that's what makes it so exciting. You're in for 20 years now. Congratulations, Mazel Tov on that. What's it feel like to hit that milestone? And I know we've talked about this before, you and I have, Ryan. You know, the little guy on your shoulder, Dick Clark, and what he meant to you.
Yeah, you know, I looked up to him as a child. I watched this show from my home in Atlanta for so many years before I was on television, and I had a dream to be here as his co-host just for a year, and to be here 20 years later really is just incredible. I pinch myself every time we get to do this show. But I want to tell you, Bill, Shirleen, you don't need the weather reporter. You don't need the map. I can tell you what it's like right now. It is pouring rain. It's not terribly cold, which is nice. It's pouring rain. These stages are slick. I mean, Carrie Underwood's coming up, and it is a very wet stage. He's going to do it live. These are pros. The show must go on. That ball is going to drop, and 2025 is on the way.
Great. So we have Carrie Underwood coming up. Anything else we should be looking forward to?
TLC, Jonas Brothers, Carrie Underwood, and of course, a brand new start, a brand new year.
You rock, brother. You just simply rock.
All
right.
Thanks.
Happy New Year. See you soon.
Happy New Year. So exciting. We're going to see you back here at 10:30, Ryan. But as for that rain, you see him, he was soaked.
He was soaked. Jeffrey, how long is the soaking going to continue?
The timing on this just impeccably bad, drenching everyone in Times Square. I think the worst of it is probably over within the next hour or so, but New York City right now, all 5 boroughs getting drenched by heavy, not only just downpours, but thunderstorms. We've had frequent cloud-to-ground lightning with these storms moving on through. These are now extending onto western Long Island, extending up into lower Hudson Valley, much of northern New Jersey. They're exiting the Jersey shore. You had some pretty strong thunderstorms down over Ocean County, Long Beach Island a little bit earlier. But the good news is, by 11 p.m., it starts tapering off a little bit here in New York City. You're still getting drenched over parts of Long Island and Connecticut and the Hudson Valley. But watch what happens by midnight. There's a pretty good push of this rainfall off to the north and east of New York City. And we may actually stop raining just as the ball drops. Wouldn't that be good timing? In Times Square. Temperatures around 50 by that point. So if anything, the temperature might nudge up a little bit. And then that rain exits off to the north and east overnight. So rain obviously soaking festivities out there, but tapers off around or even just prior to midnight. These downpours in the meantime can contain some lightning and thunder, and then the wind becomes the big story for late tomorrow through Thursday. Could gust 40 to 50 miles per hour, and then prolonged cold will take us through the weekend and beyond. We have wind advisories for tomorrow, 45 for a low tonight, back up to about 50 or so tomorrow, maybe a shower in a couple of spots in the afternoon, but the wind taking the headline tomorrow. And you may have heard rumors on social media. Could there be some snow or no early next week? We'll detail that in your AccuWeather 7-day forecast coming up. Back over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Jeff. Appreciate it. By the way, if you're in a party mood in Times Square, then it's a kind of pshaw about the rain that is soaking Times Square right now.
You might have gotten a glimpse of our Anthony Carlo here just a moment ago. Looking spiffy. Might be a little wet out there, but that's not stopping you, my friend. How's it going?
Oh, no. Did anybody tell you guys it's raining, by the way? Kidding, of course. We know that by now. It is raining a lot, but you can't stop the shine tonight, of course. Had to put on my best tuxedo. I've got to say, though, my big question is, how should we be receiving this message from Mother Nature? Thunder, lightning, rain, all heading into 2025. Well, if you talk to people who are here in Times Square, they are very optimistic about it. They're treating this rain as a little bit of luck. And can you blame them? Us New Yorkers, we are not rattled by a whole lot. And all of those coming from all across the world tonight to ring in the new year, they're buying into that New Yorker spirit. For hours, they stood in the pouring rain, a poncho their only defense.
Cold, wet, but okay.
We're hoping it wasn't going to rain, but we're trying to hang it out.
Michael and his son made the trip from Tennessee. It's your first time in seeing it in person? For every raindrop and rain-soaked performance, there was just as much optimism for 2025. Do you regret coming out here for New Year's?
No, not at all, not at all. All my friends at Hampton University told me I wasn't going to be able to do it, but I'm here and I'm doing it.
I'm just here celebrating love, life, happiness.
It's only appropriate to wear a hat as big as your goals for the new year.
I never thought I'd actually be here, but we're from Chicago. Yeah. We're excited to be here. I hope my mom's watching.
Times Square, the crossroads of the world.
Out of my home country is Pakistan. I'm only here for a year, so it actually feels very nice.
In a world that can be so divided, here, strangers huddle together.
New York City is the greatest city in the whole world. I watch this every day on TV, so I come. A lot of people not gonna have this privilege to see the ball drop.
3, 2, 1.
Preparing to feast their eyes on that 6-ton geodesic sphere, all 2,688 crystal triangles that can display more than 16 million colors.
I've always wanted to do this. It's bucket list since I was a kid.
About 1 million people, all screened as they enter the viewing area. The NYPD patrolling with bomb-sniffing dogs, sanitation trucks positioned to prevent a vehicle ramming attack. Just a microcosm of the elaborate effort.
I want everyone to have a happy and safe 2025. No better place to bring it.
Hey, health and wealth, that's what it's all about.
Health and wealth, those are the two big ones going into 2025. I've got to echo again what Ryan Seacrest said. We live for this, so when you ask about the rain, you can talk to the performers who are on stage as we speak. They'll tell you that they're in the zone. And a little hat tip to the workers tonight, who I see continuously clearing the stage of all that water. So as they say, the show can go on. My resolution, continue to dress fearlessly and not worry about the weather in 2025. Anthony Carlo live in Times Square. I'll send it back to you guys.
Yeah, well, maybe next year you can wear that too. That'd be great. Thank you so much, Anthony. Really great. We'll check back with you later. In fact, we're going to be checking in throughout the night, Times Square, to see what is happening. And of course, Ryan Seacrest will be back to pick up our coverage at 10:30 and help us usher in 2025.
We do have some big news today. First, a horrific scene on the New York City subway. The video difficult to watch. A man injured after he was out of nowhere, shoved in front of an oncoming train in Chelsea. The suspect quickly captured by police and just charged with attempted murder. Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon has the story.
The chilling video obtained by Eyewitness News shows a man standing close to the edge of the platform behind a couple of ferry evaders and another man approaching and casually shoving him in front of a 1 train just after 1:30 this afternoon at 18th Street. First responders would go between the stopped subway cars to rescue the 45-year-old victim and take him to Bellevue Hospital. Sources tell us he is a New York City resident and is in stable condition tonight. Less than an hour after the attack, a suspect was in custody, identified as 23-year-old Kamel Hawkins of Brooklyn. Tonight, riders on the same Chelsea platform headed to their New Year's Eve destinations are calling the attack brutal and scary.
I'm ready to go back home.
I'm ready to go back home. I came here for a good time, and I'm scared that things like this might happen to me.
They want to hike fares up and they want to do certain things, but they can't even keep the people of New York City protected. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of sad.
New Yorkers must feel safe.
today, the mayor defended his efforts to get people off the subway system who are sleeping or seem like they need mental health services. He pointed to lower crime on the subway in 2024 and declines overall since 2009, but admits the perception just doesn't match the reality.
People don't want to hear that. They said someone just got burned, Derek. If someone is shoved to the subway system on the tracks, people are seeing and feeling what they're reading. So our success is overshadowed.
And the cameras that help lead to arrests, like they did tonight, also make those disturbing crimes more visible to more people.
I actually still feel relatively safe. It's a big city and there's a lot of subway stations and a lot of people commuting, but yeah, it's still really scary when you see it on video like that so clearly.
Kamel Hawkins was quickly apprehended and held here at 59th Street thanks to transit cops looking for the person in that video. He is charged tonight with attempted murder and assault as a felony. Police believe this was random. They say he did not know the victim and said nothing to him before pushing him in front of that train. In Columbus Circle, Sonia Rincon, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Police have charged the mother of a newborn found in a tote bag in the Bronx with abandonment and reckless endangerment. Cops say 26-year-old Delfina Galvez lives down the block from where the baby girl was found Sunday morning, left outside a home in the Morrisania section. The newborn was taken to the hospital and is in stable condition. A reminder that safe haven laws allow parents to anonymously and legally hand off a newborn to a person at a hospital, a police station, or a fire station.
Those controversial plea deals that would spare the death penalty for 3 defendants in the 9/11 attacks are back on track. A military appeals court last night ruled against Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin's effort to throw out the deals reached for Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and 2 other defendants if they pled guilty. The judge said Austin lacked standing to throw out the plea deals, this after they were already underway.
As of tonight, congestion pricing for Manhattan is still set to begin this weekend. Lawyers from both sides meeting with a judge in New Jersey. The judge not making a decision to delay the toll. Yesterday, the federal judge setting a January 17th deadline to respond to New Jersey's complaints about congestion pricing. But that deadline, weeks after congestion pricing, is set to begin. Even as the legal battles continue, Eyewitness News is going to air a half-hour special this Friday on everything you need to know about congestion pricing. We invite you to tune in this Friday at 5:30 p.m. right here on Channel 7.
Coming up next on Eyewitness News, Puerto Rico in the dark again. A massive power outage sweeps across the island. There are new details about what happened and getting the lights back on. And some scary moments at a New Year's Eve party for families near Boston. A big display of Legos comes tumbling down to the crowd below. And we are counting down to 2025 with all the revelers in Times Square right down there. We'll be right back. The power tonight slowly coming back on for the people of Puerto Rico. Almost all the island once again left without power earlier today. And late tonight, officials said they had restored power to more than 300,000 customers. But thousands still remain in the dark. It's believed that this time a problem with an underground power line may have caused the shutdown.
At the stroke of midnight, pay hikes for workers in the tri-state earning minimum wage. In New York, the hourly minimum wage is going up 50 cents to $16.50 in New York City. On Long Island and in Westchester County, it is $15.50 in the rest of the state. In New Jersey, the new rate is going to be $15.49. And in Connecticut, workers are going to earn $16.35 an hour. Jeff?
Shirleen, the Empire State Building putting on a bit of a light show tonight for New Year's Eve, and we've had a light show in the sky as well. Quite a bit of lightning out there, so just be careful. If you're out, try not to be out if you can. 45 right now. Heavy rain in New York City. An east wind coming in 8 miles per hour, gusting up to about 20. The high on the day getting up to 53 after a morning low of 44. You see the heaviest rain right now over New York City, extending onto western parts of Long Island. Now just sneaking into western Suffolk County. This extends into the lower Hudson Valley and Connecticut. But the back edge of the downpour is now slicing into, say, northeastern parts in New Jersey, central New Jersey, and this will keep on accelerating off to the north and east during the next hour or so. So I do have hope that this rainfall will be coming to an end by the time the ball drops in Times Square in New York City. 45 right now in the park, 52 down the shore at Belmar. So our futurecast by midnight consistently showing that rain's off to the north and east. Yes, Suffolk County getting slammed at that point by downpours, also into parts of Connecticut and the mid-Hudson Valley. But New York City and points south and west, it's really beginning to taper off and maybe just plain shutting off by that point. 7 o'clock in the morning, mainly cloudy skies out there. We're still under the influence of this area of low pressure, so we'll have a lot of clouds out there tomorrow. The wind will really start picking up from the west, and we have wind advisories that start 3 p.m. tomorrow, lasting right through the day on Thursday. So we're calling tomorrow and Thursday AccuWeather alerts. There could be a shower or two, especially north and west in New York City tomorrow afternoon, maybe even a snow shower well north and west, and then we clear things out tomorrow night into Thursday. But if anything, the wind will pick up even more during the day Thursday. Thursday is a cooler day, the high only getting up to about 40. Look at these futurecast wind gusts. 4 p.m. tomorrow, a lot of places getting 30 to 45 mile per hour gusts. They might even become more widespread by Thursday afternoon. And then this wind is also going to be driving in a much colder air mass as we head toward the weekend. You've probably heard the rumors. There could be some snow early next week. And I say could because the track of the system is going to have huge ramifications onto whether we get snow or not. Right now, a lot of our modeling is suppressing the snow just off to our south. But you see, that's a really close call by later Monday, so we'll have to keep a close eye on it. If it waffles a little bit to the north, we could be in the snow later Monday. 45 for tonight. Rain, some of which will be heavy during the next hour or so, and then tapering off around midnight. Then a lingering shower or two possible late. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, increasingly windy. It's a shower in a few spots, mainly in the afternoon. 50. Look at the wind, gusting up to 40+ miles per hour, especially during the afternoon hours, clearing blustery tomorrow night down to about 36. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. Again, that AccuWeather alert extending through Thursday with a wind, which could even gust higher, maybe up to 50 miles per hour in spots, 40, and then we're stuck in the 30s Friday and beyond, and we'll have to watch the track of that storm off to our south. If it's close enough, some snow is a possibility, especially by later Monday. We'll be keeping a close eye on it, and so will Brittany Bell. She'll have an update early tomorrow morning. Back over to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Jeff. Still ahead on Eyewitness News, a big display of Legos comes tumbling onto the crowd below at a New Year's party. A look at how it all happened straight ahead. This is wild. A display made of Legos collapsed onto a crowd of people celebrating New Year's Eve today in Massachusetts, leaving 10 people with minor injuries. Yeah, this happened at a family event at an arcade and a restaurant in Peabody. The Lego display was attached to balloons and was pulled down by them somehow, as you could see. 8 people were taken to the hospital, but it's believed no one was badly hurt.
Well, that's the big news here. No one was badly hurt, but that's very, very scary. All right. Happy New Year. And with that, we bring it over to Sam.
Yeah, a lot going on. The struggling Rangers a day off, yet they still suffer a huge loss as a key player goes down with injury. The latest on who will miss time still ahead. And coming up in sports, the red-hot Red Storm back in action. Can the Johnnies make it a season-high 7 straight wins in Big East action? Highlights from the court after the break.
There was a loss for the Rangers today, but it wasn't on the side.
No, they didn't even play.
Yeah, see, there you go.
This has been really rough for them. A tough stretch for the struggling Rangers. Just got a whole lot tougher. Yes, they've dropped 4 in a row. How it now appears that they're going to be without goalie Igor Shesterkin. He's reportedly heading to injured reserve with an upper body injury. On the ice today, the Islanders north of the border at Toronto in a New Year's Eve matinee leaves with a 1-0 lead in the second. Isles in the Toronto zone. Matt Barzal up to Noah Dobson, who sends it across then to J.G. Pajot. The big finish, his 9th of the season, ties it at 1, but the Leafs would respond 16 seconds later, and Toronto goes on for the 3-1 win. Islanders have dropped 2 straight. As for the Devils, playing as we speak out west in Anaheim, facing the Ducks. Anaheim strikes first midway through the opening period. It's Troy Terry who gets the Ducks on the board. The 1-0 lead. No one scored in the second. Right now, it's 2-1 Anaheim. They are in the third. Jonas Siegenthaler with the Devils goal in this one. Hoops, the only thing that can slow down the red-hot Knicks these days is a day off, you can say. New York back in action tomorrow night when they host the Jazz at the Garden. Knicks go for their 9th straight win. College hoops, Big East action. St. John's on the road at Creighton. A close one throughout. Red Storm, a 2-point lead at the break. Stephen Ashworth, a game-high 18 points for the Blue Jays. He had 3 steals in this one as well. Creighton holds on the 1-point win over the Johnnies. It was a close one, 57-56 the final. That ends St. John's 6-game win streak. Seton Hall also in action, facing Xavier. Musketeers jumping out to the double-digit lead at the half. They cruised from there. Ryan Cronwell with the 22 points, 18 of those in the first half. The Pirates just couldn't get back into this one after the break. Seton Hall in this one falls on the road, 94-72. They've dropped now 5 in a row. And finally, let's take you to the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. You've seen coaches get Gatorade baths after big games. How about the Cheez-Its bath? Oh, yeah. Illinois head coach Brett Bielema covered in the snack as the Illini, they beat South Carolina 21-17. I guess you can say he was a little salty, huh?
Yes, but better than being a lot wet.
Better than cold liquid.
No question about that. He could just come here and get in the rain.
Bring the snacks.
We'll be right back. Take a look at where the action is. Man, there's a lot of people. And there's a lot of rain. Is it starting to go down, Jeff?
It is tapering.
There you go. I knew it's going to happen. Yep. Health and peace to all of you. From all of us here, we wish you health and peace, and let's take care of each other. And it was great having you on the show tonight.
This was an honor.
It really was. This is our first night like this tonight. Ryan Seacrest is next.
Yes. Happy New Year.
Live from Times Square, it's Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with me, Ryan Seacrest, presented by Kia, with live performances from